Hey everyone, I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Allison Gargaro, and today is a Fox 26 storm alert day. Just moments ago, the National Weather Service issued a severe thunderstorm watch across the entire viewing area. This will be in effect until 6 o'clock this evening, because our latest model runs have been showing the potential for very strong winds to move in a little bit later this afternoon into the early evening, and even the chance for some hail. At the moment, we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings at this time, but it's 11:30. National Weather Service is issuing what we call some special weather statements saying, hey, we're just below severe criteria, but we are starting to see these storms begin to pick up in intensity. Now, we do have a bit of a complex weather atmosphere and what we could be seeing. So this morning, we were looking at our models saying, hey, it looks like there's going to be an early morning event on Wednesday with a chance for some severe storms. But if you joined us on Houston's morning show, we talked about all the severe weather in Dallas this morning, and that's going to start to make its way down toward us here in Houston. So it does look like severe weather is expected starting as early as 12:30, 1 o'clock, but likely going to be moving into Houston between the 3, 4, 5 o'clock hour. That's why our severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 6, just in case some of the storms do slow down just a bit before they make their way out to our east. So if the afternoon threat does hold and we see widespread severe storms, that would likely limit the potential for severe weather come early tomorrow morning. But if today it's a bit more scattered and isolated in nature, then that severe threat tomorrow morning will still be heightened. And I'm going to go through everything for you, so just make sure that you continue to watch this so we can actually break it down for you hour by hour. But the main weather threat's going to be damaging wind gusts. I mean, we're talking 75 to 80 mile per hour gusts potentially moving through downtown Houston. And as you know, just 2 weeks ago, we saw severe storms roll through with 100 mile per hour winds that completely just blew out windows, a ton of damage. So more damaging wind gusts definitely not going to be welcomed in some areas. But we're also monitoring the potential for some large hail, potentially a 2-inch diameter, if not larger. On top of that, embedded within these thunderstorms, pockets of some pretty heavy rain and frequent lightning. So that's going to be the big overview. And right now, this is where the bulk of the severe weather is as we speak. It's actually inching close to Bryan College Station right now in the most northern portion of our viewing area. So let's get down to it, taking you right into the radar because that's what you want to know. So there is a severe thunderstorm warning just to our north and then another one just off to the east. But take a look at this line from Jacksonville through Rusk down to Crockett, and then it's knocking on the doorstep of College Station. So technically no warnings in our viewing area, but they're just a county or two away. So that's definitely something we could see within the next half hour or so. But if we take you down to this line in particular, the rain is heavy. When we see this pink color, it's falling at a rate of 2+ inches per hour. And honestly, these storms are moving pretty slowly, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see the potential for some maybe ponding on the roadways as this moves through. But I want to talk about the winds, and unfortunately there has been a radar scan since I plotted these literally just a minute ago. But we were seeing some winds, these bright greens and even bright reds, gusting upwards of 66 miles per hour. So that's why there are those severe thunderstorm warnings, because these are potentially damaging wind gusts rolling through. Now, we mentioned wind is not the only hazard. Take a look at all of these spots with this bright purple color. That's going to be the hail size. And when we talk about inch diameter of hail, that's when it becomes severe. So we're talking quarter size, if not bigger, is going to be possible. I'd say likely up near Crockett, potentially Madisonville, and just to the north of College Station. And you can see we got another sweep of the radar showing that that hail is still going to be a possibility. Now, as we time this out, College Station, you potentially are getting some showers on the north end of town, but to the north of you, that's where the lightning starts to roll in. So You need to stay weather aware. Any of these storms could turn severe at just a moment's notice. And want to let you know, some storms are starting to build and develop out in hill country. And what we see developing out to our west is what will be moving into our viewing area a little bit later this evening. So it's important that you're keeping an eye on the radar. That's going to be the #1 most important thing. But I want to break down the threats for you. So we're talking about our severe wind risk. And as you can see, it's widespread. The entire viewing area is at a high risk for gusts up to 80 miles per hour, but some models showing potentially even 85-mile-per-hour winds. And this afternoon, the chance for that hail also going to be widespread. Now, the tornado risk is low. It's definitely not something we're ruling out because there were some tornado warnings up toward Dallas and Tyler earlier this morning, but we haven't seen any, at least within the last few hours. But again, if that changes, we will be the first to let you know. But let's talk about hail size, because I think a lot of folks are wondering, okay, when do we cross that threshold of small hail into large, potentially damaging hail, which we would call severe? Well, it's at that inch mark, which, as you can see, is the size of a quarter. So I like to kind of talk about it rather than actual diameter, because sometimes that's a little bit difficult to decide exactly how big that is. Let's go with what that is compared to actual things. So inch hail is the size of a quarter. 1.5 inch hail is a ping pong. We saw golf ball sized hail already this morning. That was 1 3/4 inches up in the Dallas area. Then we get into even bigger. 2.5 inches is tennis ball sized hail, baseball sized about 2 3/4 inches, and softball is about 4 inches. I would say we're not going to be getting quite that big with the hail potential. If anything, we're going to range from quarter to ping pong and potentially golf ball sized hail. So it's going to be large. And if you saw any video from the severe storms that rolled through Dallas just this morning, it caused windshields to break, completely shatter, just because that is a very big mass of ice that is falling out of the sky. So hail, again, going to be a big threat. But let's get to the timing of the storm. So it's 12:30. And into your 1 o'clock hour, we're likely going to be seeing that heavy rain and strong winds start to move in to College Station. Then we head into 2 o'clock, and that's when we're going to be seeing a few more scattered showers start to move in through the greater Houston area. We're talking out toward the Woodlands, potentially near Katy, even down to Rosenberg. Then coverage starts to expand around 3 o'clock. That's through downtown Houston. But I want you to keep an eye out on some of these areas shaded in purple and even black, if not white, on your screen. That's likely where the strongest winds will be setting up and where that hail potential is. Then the line starts to make it south of Houston toward League City. We're talking Pearland, and then even out to Baytown and inching closer to Lake Jackson by about 4:30. And this latest model has everything mainly along our coastal zones by 5:30, and then 6 o'clock, it's out of here. But I want to talk about what's happening tonight. We're talking overnight, after midnight, after 1 o'clock. So you're likely going to be sleeping. Well, this latest model is still showing a strong line of storms out toward Austin. Again, what was happening in hill country makes its way to us. Now, the thing is, if we get all of these severe storms, the atmosphere is just going to be so worked over, it won't have much more juice to keep any of these storms really alive for a long time or turn severe. But this latest model is showing we could still see some pockets of heavy rain, and by 6:30, 7 o'clock, that could mean a wet morning commute. It's really just going to depend on what happens this afternoon. So make sure you stick with us here on Fox Local as we're going to continue to bring you the latest updates. We want to make sure everybody is staying safe, so we ask that you have a way of receiving severe weather alerts. To your cell phone is going to be the best option because you'll get a notification. And turn on the lightning tracker. That's a really good indication of when the storms are moving close. You'll get notified if there are any other watches or warnings in your neighborhood. Make sure to stay safe and always remember to depend on us here at Fox 26.